Hi guys, Alex here, back with another video. I'm going to do something slightly different today. I'm going to take you through my Dylan albums, my CD collection for Bob Dylan. I'm not going to go through the vinyl because I only have a couple of albums of his and wouldn't be worth it, so I'm going to do the CDs. Going to say it now though, I'm missing quite a few. It appears as if I'm missing quite a few, but a lot of the 70s stuff especially, and some of the bootlegs I own in a digital copy on iTunes. Stupidly bought them on iTunes, so I'll maybe pick up the CDs as well at some point, but that's why it would appear that I'm missing quite a few. Okay, so playing in the background at the moment is this, Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. And I'll just whiz through these. So Freewheeling Bob Dylan, the album that really kick-started Bob's career, and contains some of the most memorable protest songs ever written. Blowing in the Wind, Masters of War, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Oxford Town. Some real classics, and a very iconic cover as well, obviously. Got Suze Rotolo here. Dylan's muse at the time. Sadly passed away though very recently, and she'll be greatly missed by Dylan fans, but she'll be fondly remembered, not just for her association with Dylan, but she was an artist as well, so very kind and caring person, and introduced Bob to many a great poet as well, so great album. Another side of Bob Dylan, another album I really enjoy. Very different to his Freewheeling. And then he, of course, incorporated his first electric compositions into Bringing It All Back Home from 1965. This is an extraordinary album because he staggeringly produced this album in just 2 days. For the masterpiece that it is, that is just a mind-boggling fact, and just shows the capacity of Dylan in the mid-60s. And then developing on the ideas of Bring It All Back Home, an almost fully electric album, Highway 61 Revisited, the album that no doubt changed rock and roll history forever, and probably the album you think about when you think about Dylan in the 60s. And then, of course, my favourite album of all time, Blonde on Blonde. And, what else can I say? It's Blonde on Blonde. This is over 70 minutes long, but not once does Dylan draw out one single note. It's like 70 minutes of absolute sheer quality, so pick up this album. Seriously, if you don't own this album, it's a quintessential album in any music collector's collection. So John Wesley Harding, very different to all the early stuff. Very interesting and fascinating record to listen to, this one. You can learn a lot from it. A lot of biblical references and references to famous people from the past, and Dylan really goes back into the depths of history on this record. So it's very interesting that he took such a different direction in 1967. But I also own Tree with Roots on my iPod, which is a bootleg, but it's the extended version, basically the full version of the Basement tapes in '67, and I highly recommend you download that collection of songs, because it's fascinating to see Dylan kind of attempting to get in on the whole psychedelic thing, and he does it in a completely different way to everyone else, but it's fascinating and so raw and unproduced. You really need to check it out. But that's John Wesley Harding. And then of course he released this, not my favourite album of his, Nashville Skyline. It's tuneful, and Dylan's voice is quite pleasant and mellow on this album, but he's not really singing about anything with any purpose, and it's not really believable, I guess. So not my favourite album of his. but somewhat of a return to form came in the shape of New Morning in 1970, and I enjoy this record. Again, not my favourite. It doesn't match up to the quality and the standards set by his his extraordinary mid-60s work, but it's a nice album, a nice listen. And then I'm missing a bunch of, I'm missing I'm missing Dylan from 1973, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, and then Planet Waves. I'm missing those 3 albums. Then I own Blood on the Tracks and Desire, which are 2 absolutely incredible albums. I own both of them on iTunes. I'll probably pick up the CDs at some point, but just haven't got around to it yet. So my next one is Hard Rain, and this documents his live show in 1976 at the Hard Rain Festival. I think the festival was called Hard Rain, and again, a nice listen. It doesn't match up for me as a live album to this 66 bootleg, the Royal Albert Hall show or anything like that. Not even the Rolling Thunder Review. But no, this contains Shelter from the Storm and Idiot Wind. Those are the 2 tracks that really made me buy this record, because those are top quality and some of his best performances, I believe. So a nice album. I think you should pick it up just for those 2 tracks. And then finally, Love and Theft. I'm missing a bunch of the 80s stuff and the late 70s stuff. I have quite a lot of it on iTunes as well. But then Love and Theft, a return to form, maybe for some people. Consider this a return to form, but more likely a continuation of the form he showed on Time Out of Mind in the late 90s. And he continued that and followed that through into Love and Theft. And I think if you're a true Dylan fan, you can appreciate this. But newcomers maybe would it'd probably be better for newcomers to come in and listen to the early stuff before listening to the kind of raspy and somewhat diminished voice of Dylan in the 2000s. But it's still a nice. The songwriting is sublime and second to none as usual, and a really well produced record. I actually really like this. So Love and Theft. And then just quickly show you the bootlegs. I have a bunch of unofficial bootlegs as well, and I've got the volumes 4 and 6. I have both of them on iTunes, so I haven't got them in the hard copy, but I'll show you the ones I do have. First of all, bootleg series volume 1 to 3, 3-disc set. This one, and seriously, if you're getting into the whole Dylan thing or folk music in general, then seriously pick this up, because you get 60 songs on here, alternate takes and some really fascinating recordings from everything from the 60s to the 2000s to the 90s you get on here. So seriously pick this up. You can get it for like £10 now, so really worth just buying this for just for how cheap it is. It's worth it, really is. So I really enjoy this. A quintessential bootleg, and one I listen to very, very frequently, actually. So then moving on to Bob Dylan Live 75. Also a bootleg I really enjoy listening to. The Rolling Thunder Review is just filled with explosive performances, in my opinion. This is only, paces behind, the Royal Albert Hall show from 1966. This is only just behind that in terms of quality, I believe. And a fascinating listen and an insight into Dylan's obviously breaking up in his marriage, and he was going through all of that, and amazing live performances, and one you should most definitely pick up. Next of all, I have these 2 here. I'm not going to talk too much about these because I have a review up of each of them. Head over to my channel and no, in fact I'll put the annotations one there. So So yeah, just click on the annotations and that'll take you to the mini reviews I did of these two. But again, bootlegs that I greatly enjoy listening to. Those are the Whitmark demos and No Direction Home, the soundtrack, volumes 7 and 9. And then finally, of course, the mono recordings from 2010. This was released, and again, I'll put an annotation up there for my review on the mono recordings. So I'm not going to talk too much about it because there's just so much to say about this reissue and this set. It's most definitely something you should look into, though. I'll say that. But yeah, apart from that, that's just about it for this video. I'll have some more thread responses up very, very shortly. Got like threads from STEX and NL, Mr. Hall of Fame. Want to answer their threads, and I'll most certainly do that over the next few days. Until then, keep posting the videos, really enjoying them, and yeah, I'll see you soon, guys.